Hello, it's Jimmy here at O'Reilly's Mobile Mechanics. Come to look at a Renault Trafic here, and it's got a DPF issue that has had a mobile DPF cleaner come out and clean it yesterday, and immediately after he left, the guy's taking it for a drive, the light came back on, and the response from the mobile DPF cleaning company is that we are just a DPF cleaning company, we do not get involved with any of your other faults, so it is up to you to get those sorted. So the first thing I would say to that is, if you are a DPF cleaner and you don't get involved with any of the repairs, please do not clean somebody's DPF unless the faults have been fixed, or at least tell the customer, look, your DPF is clean and you've got so many miles to go and get this repair done. You know, if you're going to clean the DPF, and then the customer can drive it straight to his local garage who can do the whatever repair. But as far as I'm concerned, you should do the repairs and then do your DPF cleaning. If you don't like doing the repairs, then you shouldn't really do the DPF cleaning either. Anyway, this is the message we've got: check anti-pollution system. It's also got a check injection fault as well that comes up. Spanner light on and engine management light there, so obviously the same sort of stuff we've been through before, but the difference is I've got a new tool here that a lot of my customers have been asking me to show, which is the CRP MOT4 from Launch UK. We're going to hit diagnose and we are looking for Renault, so we can search it up here. So it hasn't got the automatic intelligent search that the tab 3 has got. Just going to straight Renault. We'll do an automatic search. So it's pretty much the same as my tab 3, really the same sort of operating system. We'll do a health report on the engine, on the full systems. So we've got 4 codes there for that, various different faults elsewhere. Okay, so we're finished. We have a 2002-92 code, speed limiter or cruise control doesn't work. Now, I've seen that before. Once you clean the DPF and get all of this working, your cruise control will automatically start working. So as you can see, this open circuit, that'll start working once we fix the DPF. Preheating fault is going to be the glow plugs that need changing, and then you got oil dilution. It's going to need an oil service, or it just having to be reset right now. Now what I can say is we have a lot of other short circuits here. External temperature sensor does look like it's working. That is located in the mirror. So for these, I'm hoping that we're just going to reset some of these faults and it will be okay, because what the customer is telling me is the vehicle has just recently had a flat battery and he's had that replaced. So you can see all of these sort of short circuit, circuit below the minimum level. Battery disconnection, so you can see there that it's logged that the battery's been disconnected. Open circuit. AdBlue dosing malfunction as well. Now I'm hoping that all of these have just been triggered off by the battery. So we're going to fix these problems by cleaning the DPF, replacing the glow plugs and resetting the engine oil dilution. Now I would like to change the engine oil, but the customer doesn't want to have an oil change done. He just wants these items done today, and we'll clear the rest of the faults. If they're okay, they're okay. If not, we'll look at doing diagnostics on the rest of these items here. So the first part of my diagnostics is going to be, I'm going to switch the engine off and we'll just do a basic code clear. We'll see what codes actually clear and which ones stay present. So if a code stays present, it means that there's a definite circuit issue there that is permanent. If they do clear, then it could have been just triggered off by something else. Okay, now we'll go back to the engine ECM. read the faults. So we've still got that one at the minute. Going to go to data stream, and even though we haven't got a fault for it, each one of these vans that I've seen that has got a block DPF, it's always got an issue with this upstream pressure sensor. Pressure upstream of the turbine. And then we'll get engine speed. We'll click both of those items and we'll graph it. Now we'll start the engine up, and if we keep an eye on these graphs, as we increase the engine speed, these should move up and come down at relatively the same sort of graph. So let's give it some revs. Okay, so we can see that's coming down immediately, but this one is not coming down, very slowly there. Let's switch the engine off so we have no pressure, and you can still see there that the pressure is taking an awfully long time to come down on the pressure stream upstream of the turbo. So that is quite blocked. Probably one of the worst I've seen there. It's taken a really long time to come down. So that should come down to atmospheric pressure, which is around about 1040, something like that. It's taking its time. Okay, so the first item we need to look at is this pressure stream sensor over here. We're going to need to disconnect that and try and clean out the metal pipe that runs down the back of it there, all the way around to the exhaust manifold. So first I'm just going to open the air inlet pipe here. Just tuck that down under the AC pipe. There. Now we've got a little bit of better access to the sensor. Get my hand in here. I'm going to push the sensor downwards, pull the clip in and pull her out. Tuck that again somewhere to the side. Then we're going to use the pliers here to get this little clip out. We're just going to put that over there. We can work this sensor loose. I'm just going to move that a little bit, bend it a little bit so we can access it. Now we need to remove these clips from the rubber hose here. Okay, now I've got that sensor disconnected. I've connected up a pressure gauge here so I can show you what the issue is. Now if we increase the pressure on here, it goes all the way up to 30 psi before it pops out. So we shouldn't have any pressure in this pipe down here, so we're going to need to clean that out. So this actual repair, I know some of my viewers have probably seen this a dozen times, but I'm doing about 3 of these vans every day, these Renaults, for the same fault, so it is quite common. Same with the Ford Transits. Usually doing 3 Transits on a normal day, either doing 3 of these or 3 Transits with the vaporizers. So it's as common, they're both as common as one other, but I'd say this is, the Renault Trafics have become a lot more popular, a lot more faulty ones of these on the road. So I'm going to use a drill here to work this cable down that pipe and try to clean it out. Now one thing I will mention is the customer was talking about he had it cleaned yesterday and the DPF problem came back today. He was talking about a few weeks ago, so he had it cleaned a few weeks ago and it came back the next morning. So he's basically telling me the story like I had it cleaned yesterday and it came back today, when he took it out for a drive. So he has now been driving on the room for a few weeks, of course, so we're going to have a little bit more blockage again everywhere. We're going to get down in here, clean this out, and let's start with this cable. So that is basically feeding that cable all the way down the tube there. Okay, now if we test that again, we can see there that we've broken through, but not completely. So we've obviously made a small hole with the cable. Now that'll allow us to get some DPF cleaning fluid down that pipe. Okay, so this is the kit I'm going to use from Launch UK again. DPF cleaning gun and the DPF fluid. We've already got it in the cup, so we'll get it attached up to the vehicle. Now this is my own piece of tube that I've made up. It's a piece of fuel line, I think, maybe 6mm or something. We'll get that attached onto here. Just push it on nice and tight. Okay, now we've got the compressor line here hooked up to the gun. I'm going to give that a few squeezes. Get a little bit of that down there. And we'll stop it at that. What I will add here is, I did in the past now get a few customers messaging me saying, you know, I've tried to do the DPF cleaning. I've had a few DPF cleaners and a few DIYers messaged me saying, we've tried doing the DPF clean process that you've got on your video, where you're putting the DPF cleaning fluid down this pipe, and they've put a whole litre of fluid down there and the engine won't start. What could be the problem? If you put a litre of fluid down here, you will risk backing some of it into the cylinders and hydrolocking the engine. If you do that, you're going to need to remove all your 4 injectors, turn the engine over until you blow any of the fluid out. So I only put a very minor amount of fluid in while the engine's off, and then I start the engine and do the rest with the engine running. This compressor is hooked up at 130 psi of pressure, so it will push the fluid down with the engine running. Okay, so the engine doesn't start now, and that is because of this pipe. Now this is maybe another reason why, if you're working on one of these vans, you need to make sure that air pipe is connected, otherwise the vehicle won't start. Risk of black ice. Never see that message on one of these before. Start the engine up, and as usual on one of these you can hear the timing chain a little bit rattly there. Now we're going to squeeze the trigger. I'll hold this squeezed until all of the fluid has gone in. Okay, now all of the fluid has gone in. We'll disconnect that. Now I'm going to increase the revs just to blow any crap out of that pipe. We'll let it idle and then we'll turn it off. Okay, now we've cleaned it out. If we do this test again on the pressure tester here, you can see it doesn't move, so it's nice and free. So we've got the glow plugs out here. One thing I've mentioned in some of my other videos is it's always crazy that every one of these vans I've ever done, when we pull the glow plugs out, number 1 is always okay. Number 2, if you're counting from the left, now I know the French do count them in reverse, so this would probably be cylinder 4, dead. And again, number 3 is falling down there. But if we test all of the other glow plugs, they've all got resistance, apart from the one from the second cylinder from the left. Okay, so that's the glow plugs all fitted down there. So you can see here now, if we come back in the van and we give it an acceleration, up and down, exactly the same time. And if we switch it off now, it should go immediately down to sort of whatever the atmospheric pressure is. Okay, now the next step on this tool is to reset everything. So first of all, we're going to clear the DTCs here. Okay, that's everything clear. Now we'll go back. On this one, it's a little bit different to my tab 3 now. I did notice that we can't just do the resets from in there. We have to come back to the service function here, and we can do a reset of, where is it, DPF. So DPF regen, We're not doing a DPF regen, but the options are in here. So we're going to look for a Renault. We have a Trafic 3. What's happened there? Okay, we're going to come back in here where you can automatically select. We have DPF regeneration option here. We'll try it this way. Unless there's some sort of error here that needs updating on this tool, I'm not sure. Try that again. Special function, adaptives after replacing the DPF. Okay, that looks like that's doing it. Okay, that's done. Okay, now we're doing a reset of the engine oil. Interval, can set that to 365 days. Okay. So now after those resets, I'm going to rescan the vehicle because we might need to do some code resets again. Code clearing. Okay, so we've still got the air temperature circuit sensor. That's going to be a replacement wing mirror, and that will get rid of those faults. It looks like it might need an oil pressure sensor as well. So that's it, we are just about finished. So that sensor fault has just decided to vanish, so it's all clear. Okay, so we're just about finished here on this Renault Trafic. Now if that air temperature sensor fault comes back, this is where it's fitted. It's part of the wing mirror, but it seems to have cleared for now, so we'll let it finish up there, and if it needs to be changed in the future we can always do it. So that's it, we'll see you on the next video.